Hey, what's up, guys? I'm going to be talking about Nintendo's crappy new system, the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm a Nintendo guy. I got the Wii U thing in my closet. I got an NES Mini and an SNES Mini in there. I had to make a list on this because there's just so much dog shit associated with this. There's so much BS with this new system. I have like 9 things written down here in this document. The first thing is ridiculous pricing, and if it was just the system itself, if it was just the $450 for a system, that's fine. Xbox is like $500, PlayStation 5 is the same price, The system, its technology is outdated, okay? I know it's a handheld, but it's got like PS4 graphics 10 years after PS4 came out, and they want to charge $450 for it. And then they got that stupid little camera, which I'll talk about in a minute, and then they got $80 games. $80 games. This is what I think is going to happen is I think this is going to crash the game market if these prices keep going up like this, because people can't, I was talking about this the other day, people can't even get jobs these days. How the fuck is anyone going to pay $80 for every mainline Nintendo game unless they have a lot of extra money saved up or unless their parents are buying it for them and they have cushy jobs? How are millions of people going to afford these games, this system, and all this other garbage that comes with it? They actually, I wrote this lower on the list here, but extremely crappy camera that also costs money. I might as well just segue right into that. The camera, it's so crappy. It's got 10, 20 frames per second and really low latency. And what's the point of that? Really, realistically, Nintendo, if they were going to make a camera and monetize an entire button around it, you'd think they'd put a little effort into it. I asked ChatGPT because it accidentally said on here, it said ChatGPT noted facial recognition or motion tracking like iToy Connect throwbacks, and I asked it if it thinks they use it to spy, and it said this. Here's the short answer. No, not directly, but yes, in the sense that any camera connected to a network device is technically capable of being used to spy, depending on how it's programmed and what permissions it has. So maybe it's like some weird spy thing for them. I can't confirm anything on that, but you can't help but wonder, Then we've got, the monetize button. That's number 2 I wrote on my list. What the fuck, man? What the fuck is that shit? Monetize button. Literally, you got to pay money to use a button now. Forget about, what are they called? Those things DLC. Forget about DLC that comes with video games that you pay for. Forget about a game not being completely released. Now you have to pay money to use a fucking button on their controller. That new button could have done so many cool things, man. They could have done so much cool shit with it. It could have been an extra customizable button. I think it's called the C button for the camera. I thought it would be like a customization button, C for customization, where you could customize it to do any extra thing you wanted. Let's say you wanted an extra fire trigger in a FPS game, or you wanted to customize let's say it was like a Diablo game or something. You wanted to customize, add an extra spell on there, or do something like that. It could have been used as a full-on customization button that could have done so much. It could have done so much cool shit, man. It's a shame, It's a shame that they had to waste a button on monetization. This one, I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this one. I think one guy, Nintendine, said he talked about this, but I did not see the video for it. GameCube features only available on Switch 2 and not Switch 1, even though as a fully paying member, paying $50 for the online yearly service, you are not getting the full service unless you buy Switch 2. This is fucking ridiculous. PlayStation knows this. Xbox knows this. Every other fucking company under the sun knows if you pay for a full service, you're supposed to get the full service. Why are they locking GameCube games behind the Switch 2? And these Bowser ball lickers, that's what I call Nintendo fanboys, they want to say that it's to incentivize people buying the Switch 2, that people should just buy the Switch 2 anyway because it's better. It's the new hardware and the new shiny toy that Nintendo released. But I ain't buying shit, man. But that one's ridiculous. We've been waiting for GameCube games since the Wii came out. Remember when the Wii came out and it went up to, it went up to N64, I think? And then I always thought that with the Wii U, they would release GameCube games next. And then with the system after that, they'd release Wii games and so on and so forth. But no, they got this stupid, weird system where they drop feed you these little scraps and they let you... Sorry, someone's walking upstairs. It's a little distracting. But they drop feed you these fucking scraps. Every new system, they reset the entire game library. No matter how much you paid for something, no matter what you invested in it, it's like, too bad, you know, too bad, so sad. You're not getting this until we drop feed it to you from this little fucking pig pen where you little piggies can eat your fucking slop, you know. It's ridiculous. That one really pissed me off when I found out about that. And I think it's a very overlooked issue, that you're paying full money for. I'm not renewing my service. I have the $50 game service. I'm not renewing it after this. JoyCon Drift reports already. Yeah, this is unacceptable. This is completely fucking unacceptable. These controllers have been out for, what, 8 years now? They've had the technology for probably 10 years when they were developing it. What the fuck, Nintendo? You know, they're just being cheap at this point. They just don't put any money or effort into fixing a simple issue. And if you've ever had the JoyCon Drift, you can get replacements and go in there and completely fix the issue. I think it's something to do with the sensor in it or something like that, but it's a very simple and cheap fix. It would probably cost them a little extra money to do, but, you know, being Nintendo, they don't like to spend extra money. They don't like you profiting off their stuff with things that, like, you know, use their footage, their game footage in your videos, even if it's fair use. They like to say, oh, well, you know, you'll buy our stuff anyway. You'll buy our stuff anyway, and you can just keep licking our balls because we don't care either. We're going to charge $80 for a game because you're going to pay $80 for a game. Hey, Nintendo, why don't you just charge $100 for games? People will still buy it anyway. Why the fuck not, you know? Scratched, this one, man, this one. Scratched screens from crappy box packaging. I heard that these GameStop employees were stapling the receipts to the box, and people's screens got scratched because the screens were right on the outside of the fucking box. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Like, what? Why? Why not put in the extra effort to put in a little padding between the outside of your... They just don't give a fuck anymore. They don't care. They do not give two shits because they're at the point where they saw how well the Switch did, and they're like, they'll just buy it anyway. We can get away with whatever the fuck we want. They'll just fucking cut every corner. Screw it. You know, President Bowser over here, just cut every fucking corner. Who cares? You know, but he's not really the guy in charge of the systems. He's just the guy in charge of marketing it to America and having everything go over through, like, the American division. But, like, who's the CEO? Who's that fucking new CEO that replaced Iwata? He's probably sitting there just counting his money like, sweet deal, man. You know, we're going to sell 10 million units, and these idiots, they'll just buy it, you know? They'll just fucking buy it. They don't think for themselves. They're consumers. They're not producers, right? They're not producers. They're little piggy consumers. They're little Bowser ball lickers. They'll just buy it anyway. And that was... Speaking of Bowser ball lickers, that's number 7. And yes, this is a feature that comes with the Switch 2. They are a feature, these Bowser ball lickers, because they gaslight people on behalf of Nintendo, and Nintendo doesn't even pay them to do it. They're a straight-up feature with the system. You know, if you want to complain about the system or say something about the system, they'll just swarm on you like a bunch of hornets, man. They'll just say, well, you know, this system is actually amazing, and it's so good, and that guy Jim Sterling, he gave Breath of the Wild a 7 out of 10 review, so we DDoSed him, and yeah, don't talk about my Nintendo like that. Fuck, dude, you know, get a fucking life, bro. Like, what? Why are people so obsessed? I mean, I get it. There's a connection there with the system if it's been there with you since you grew up. But there's more to life than just Nintendo. There's so much more to life than just fucking Nintendo, dude. There's so much to do, so much to explore, so much to learn, so much to overcome. So many obstacles out there that can be fought against and overcome. So many things you can do to better yourself and have a better life for yourself through effort, through sheer will. I got off methadone. I got off amphetamines. I got off benzos. I got off fentanyl. I got off crack. I got off a lot of fucking things, man. That takes real effort. It is hard to come off just one of those things, let alone, like, I have a list here. I think I have 23 different things between all the medications, habits, and all the other vices I came off of. So yeah, there's more to life than Nintendo. Okay? I just... Bowser ball lickers, man. That's what they are, though. That's really what they are. And then, yeah, crappy camera. And then finally, this is the last one. Monetized demo game. What the hell is this? What are we doing? $10 for a monetized demo game. I heard they wanted to do this with the Wii. But Reggie was smart, and he told them, no, guys, don't be idiots. Just fucking send it out with the thing. It'll make people happy. It'll generate goodwill with the company. Reggie's a good businessman, and he knows what he's doing. And I think he left Nintendo because he knew what the Switch 2 entailed. I think he knew that it was bullshit and that this new CEO is just a douchebag, and he's like, yeah, I'm done. I feel bad for people like Miyamoto, you know. I didn't like Tears of the Kingdom. I wasn't a fan of it. They had so much potential that they could branch out from Breath of the Wild with the same engine, and they spent it all on that fucking Lego thing, man. They blew it, you know? And I wonder how much of their creative innovation is stifled by this CEO saying, you got to add a new feature in this so it gets gamer retention and they play for hundreds of hours, and then we can charge $70 for it. I'll bet Miyamoto fucking hates him. I would probably quit. If I was in Miyamoto's position, I'd probably fucking quit Nintendo, dude, because dumbass CEOs like that who don't put their customers first, who don't put their gamers first, they suffocate creativity. They are the killers of innovation and creativity, hands down. And that was like 9 things I came up with. And if you can think of any more, let me know. But I wanted to talk about this because I've been wanting to talk about this since I saw that Bearman video with... He's like, well, fret not, jackass. That was a great video. Do not buy the Nintendo Switch 2. That came out right after the Direct. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on it. Nintendo's new system is garbage. I wouldn't buy it. I'm not going to buy it, and I'm never going to buy another Nintendo. There's 2 Nintendo products I am going to buy. I need to buy Echoes of Wisdom. I want to try it. I heard it's a good game. And I want to buy Metroid Prime 4 because it's coming out on the Switch. Other than that, I'm not buying any more Nintendo stuff. Neither should you. So that's my video for today. I'm going to be doing a lot of these. They're just going to be random things, man. I like this channel because I can talk about whatever the fuck I want on here. I can talk about anything. It's great. And I have so many things I can talk about too. So you guys have a great day. You say a prayer for me. I'll say a prayer for you. All right? Bye.